This Raven CPU board has been a bit of a problem. I originally sent the client one of my daughter cards, and he did a nice job of installing it, but the CPU board then wouldn't boot, and it booted somewhat, at least I'll say, prior to install of this daughter card. So logically you'd think there was something wrong with the daughter card, but that did not turn out to be the case. This daughter card is perfectly fine. You can see I just use a single gate inverter instead of a whole 7404, and this matches the original one that Ed at Great Plains Electronics manufactured quite some time ago. I socketed and changed out the 5101, scraped the reset section and installed a new 100 microfarad cap, and then installed this coin cell CR2032 battery. And upon boot, it would boot fine, and everything seemed to work, except when you get to memory test, it would declare a Z5 error, which is the 5101. So I scratched my head on that for a long time, and the best I can figure out now is that there was some persistent garbage in the 5101, or it would, I guess, boot in a certain way without a battery installed, so that there was garbage in there. And so to solve this problem, I removed the battery, booted the MPU, and that would reset everything in the 5101. And then I installed the battery back on there, and we are operating again, and we'll take it through the test. This is one of my bench driver boards, and you can see the lamp matrix is fully operational. All the blue ones up here are toggling, and all the green ones are toggling. These 4 red ones are the inverse of these 4 green ones. It just went into some attract mode option there. So let's put it into test. Now, I did make sure the 5101 was working by putting some credits on the game, so the 3 credits, and then I started a game and it decremented the credits by 1, and then you'll see when we go through the audits here that there's the 4 coin shoots, and you'll see there's 1 total play, so that's correct. None of these other audits are going to have any data in them. Now we get to lamp test, and we want to make sure that each of the DS signals are being driven to the driver board. Now, this is a known working driver board, so I don't expect to see any issues with it, and I don't. The solenoid test. It's using some of the repurposed lamp drivers to drive some underplay field transistors. And that completed solenoid test. Switch matrix test, going across the diagonal. You should see 0, 11, 22, etc. By the way, the other day was 0, 5, 1, 5, 25. Next test is the dip switch settings 2774B, 2774B. Takes me back to my hexadecimal programming days on the AV8B Harrier. Actually, we programmed that in octal, which is somewhat of an anomaly in old school programming techniques, I guess. Display test is working properly now. Here's where I ran into a problem earlier. It would declare a Z5 error right there, but we are good to go now. So I only have a theory into why that was doing that, and I really can't verify that theory, but we're going to go with it in the absence of anything else and declare this baby working again. So I did implement the slam switch mod. That's the little loop of wire that the hang tag is hanging on to, and I did replace prom 1 because the one that it came with did not verify in my programmer.